What's up, guys? Do your naked GoPros not look like this where you can see a picture, but instead look like this where you have a black screen and you can see the overlay but no image? Well, that's because this is broken. The cable that goes from the camera module to the logic board inside the GoPro. And today I'm going to show you how to fix it. Now this process works for the 10, the 9, the 8, the 11, the 13, the 12, everything from 8 to 13. The only difference is 8 needs a different cable. The 8 and the 10 cables are not interchangeable, they're slightly different, and I tried. That's how I know that they're different. Also, they have different listings on AliExpress. Alright, once you get the case off, you might have done just like me and break off one of the wires for your fan. So now you know you got to do a little bit of extra work. Turn your module on the side and you see this heat shield right here. You want a really fine flathead screwdriver, and you're going to gently stick it in a little bit and pop it up and just kind of pop all around until it pops off. And once it does, it'll reveal some Kapton tape. This Kapton tape peels off really easily. This one peels off especially easily because I've opened it a few times, so that's pretty old. You want to save that Kapton tape and reuse it for a little bit of more structural integrity, a little physical barrier. This connector, you just lift up on this black piece right here gently and it'll pop up, and then you have the wire itself. This cable needs to be lifted before it can be pulled out because it has these little edges right here, these little I guess keys or indices that lock into the body of the connector, preventing it from being accidentally pulled out. Finally, you go down here and use your little spudger to lift up this connector, and this is what a bad cable looks like. I made a video comparing the bad cable and the good cable and really couldn't tell any difference visually. Once I realized my camera wasn't turning on, I just switched the cable and life is good again. I'm going to make sure the black piece is lifted up, and then I'm going to tuck this cable in and make sure it gets snugly past its locking indices. Then I'm going to push down on the, oh fuck, that's bad. Let's see if I can pop that back in. It's a small hole and my hands are shaking. Okay, let me try to take out the cable. It doesn't look broken, it just looks like it popped out. But it's so small, it's very hard to get back on. The worst part is every time you make a little mistake, it shoots somewhere different. I know there's some guy out there who's replaced 1 million of these and can pop one on in no time. I'm not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me, you're not that guy.
I'm not that guy. I knew when this popped up I was in big trouble. It's been 9 minutes of me trying to get this piece back on. In the end, I did it with my fingers. Alright, once you get the cable in there deeply, past those two little things, you should be able to close it. Now, instead of replacing it with this dead piece of Kapton that has seen better days, I'm going to peel off a little new piece. That should save the day, provide a little structural integrity. I'm going to tuck it in there. And I'm going to lay it all the way to the edge, and then I'm going to cut it so that it doesn't interfere with the closing of this housing. There you go. Now if you've got your mic, you want to make sure you get it in there before you get your camera cable in there. You should be able to just get it on there and press down. Right? And then I fold it over like this. I try to gently get this guy back in there. I'm trying not to like tweeze too hard on the cable either. I don't want to squeeze it and break it. But getting it lined up is the hard part. If you wanted to add this heat shield back, you can just press it down. I'm going to save the 1/10 of a gram that it weighs. Wow, 6/10 of a gram. Yeah, I'm saving that. Get out of here, heatsink. Get. Alright, so I made a mistake and busted off this wire. And I hate these wires that come on this this little fan. I'm going to take off the tiniest little bit of insulation. Yeah, it's all nasty. crusty and from being melted and whatnot. Yeah, I wish I'd use silicone wires on this fan instead of these plastic insulated wires that suck. There we go. Alright, I see my little 5-volt pad that I want to go to right there. Iron's hot, a little bit of solder. And I'm going to try to do it not over the board so any embers and pieces don't fall into my BEC or my logic board for my GoPro. So I do it over here, and I'm going to go into the 5-volt pad and just touch it. Give it a little solder because it was really, really dry. Did I cover the whole thing up? I sure did. You didn't see it, but I should have done it this way, I guess. Yeah, but I just soldered that joint. And now you can see it's in there. Nothing's broken anymore. Huzzah. Check my microphone back down in here. If you wanted to, this is probably the time to use some E6000, B6000. And I would put it right in here on this connector right there. And I usually put some right here and connect this down, but I'm not going to this time because I'm going to conformal coat it because I want it to be slightly waterproof because I do plenty of fun stuff with drones and water can be a problem. So I make sure I don't pinch my antenna. You have one of those, don't you? You made one, right? Because you know they don't give you an antenna from the factory, right? Didn't pinch my antenna. My DC wire is coming out looking good. One more thing, it's good not to pinch these wires. That's my problem. I always pinch these wires. These fan wires, I pinch them over the record button. So it's kind of good to make sure it's out of the power and record button's way. Just gonna bend them down a little bit. You can even see a little bit through the power button. You can see the red of that wire just trying to get in the way. And here's the difference in the long and the short screws. You can see it's just like 1 millimeter. But the long one goes in the upper right and the short one are the remainder of the screws. Now I know what you're thinking, does it even work? Make sure our polarity is right. If you got power, that's a good sign. And look, it's fixed, there's a screen, there I am. Hey, what's up guys? Yeah boy. So we got that one working. That's how you fix the black screen on your naked GoPro. Did you see this? Did you see this hiding up here? Do you know what this is? This is a great discus. This is supposed to be an amazing build. I'm still working on it. It's coming up. Subscribe to see what I do with the great discus. I'm putting walk snail in it. I don't know of anybody who's done it before. I'm excited. I'm sure someone has. But I'm excited to have my walk snail discus. Other than that, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you next time.